Good afternoon, students. Welcome, class 8 students. Good afternoon. Welcome. We are doing math. We are doing chapter number 1, rational numbers. Very important, very easy as well. Okay, so everybody with your textbook, pen and notebook with you all, we are going to do the textbook exercises. Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome. We are doing chapter 1, rational numbers. Okay. All right. Let's start with a quick recap of the number classification. Do you all remember the number classification? What was the first type of numbers that you learned as at the kindergarten? They were counting numbers. Counting numbers are all positive numbers, which you can count 1, 2, 3, 4, no decimal points, nothing, no fractions, just whole numbers, but only positive numbers. Okay, they are the counting numbers or the natural numbers. Natural numbers along with zero are called whole numbers. Okay, natural numbers and whole numbers, and then you add negatives of the natural numbers, you get integers. So integer is your entire number line with the negative, zero and the positive numbers. And then the rational numbers. Rational numbers are fractions and they are negatives. Any number which can be put in the form of P upon Q, where P and Q are both integers and Q is not zero. P upon Q, where P, Q are integers and Q is not zero. That number is called a rational number. Positive, negative, zero, everything included. It also includes all the below numbers, natural numbers, whole numbers, integers, all are a part of rational numbers. Okay, plus fractions. And above that, it is the real numbers, which is rational plus irrational numbers. Okay, irrational numbers are like square root of non-perfect squares. So square root of 3, square root of 5, all those are irrational numbers, which cannot be expressed as P upon Q. Okay, that's the basic number classification which you all did earlier. We are going to do rational numbers. There are certain properties of rational numbers which are given in your textbook. Although there aren't any problems on these, you should know the properties. Okay, so the first property, so it is divided into addition, subtraction, multiplication and division. Okay, the first property is the closure property. Closure property means that if I have any two rational numbers A and B, then A is equal to another rational number. That's the closure property for addition. Similarly, you have closure property for subtraction, which says that two rational numbers when subtracted will give you another rational number. Okay, same thing for multiplication and division as well. Closure property is valid for all the four operations for rational numbers. Look at the next property, commutative property it is called. Commutative means A plus B is equal to B plus A, right? Commutative property is valid for addition. Is it valid for subtraction? Everybody, will it be valid for subtraction? Say you take two rational numbers, 3 and 2. 3 minus 2 and 2 minus 3. Is it the same? No, they are not the same, right? But if I take 3 plus 2 and 2 plus 3, is it the same? Yes, these are both equal. So, commutative property is true for addition. It is not true for subtraction. Same way, multiplication. A into B is equal to B into A. But A divided by B is not equal to B divided by A. Okay, everybody? Okay. Very good. Very good. Some of y'all are typing in what I'm explaining. Good for y'all. A divided by B is not equal to B divided by A. So commutative property is true for addition. It is true for multiplication. However, for subtraction and division, it is not true. Look at the associative property, brackets. So if I have A plus B into bracket and plus C outside, I can also put A plus B plus C into bracket. Associative property is valid for addition. It is valid for multiplication also. It is not valid for subtraction and division. Okay? And the last two are very important. That is the additive identity. The addition identity of a rational number is 0. Because when you add 0 to any rational number, it remains the same. 0 is the additive identity of all rational numbers. Multiplicative identity of all rational numbers is 1, because A multiplied by 1 will give you A again. Okay, additive identity and multiplicative identity. When the rational number remains the same, even though you have multiplied by some other rational number, that is 1. Here also, you have added a rational number, but it remains the same. That rational number is 0. Additive inverse. Inverse means if I have rational number A, then the additive inverse is minus A. A minus A is equal to 0. Additive inverse, where you get 0 as your answer. Multiplicative inverse is of A is multiplied by reciprocal, 1 upon A. The answer is 1. Look at the relation, right? Additive identity of any number is 0. Multiplicative identity of any rational number is 1. Additive inverse of a rational number is, if it is a positive number, it is the negative. If it is a negative number, it is positive. It should give you 0 at the end. And the multiplicative inverse is the reciprocal of the rational number. Sure? All the properties, everybody okay? Shall we move ahead? This was just a quick recap. Okay. Everybody can see my screen. Why are you unable to see my screen? My screen has been shared. Please check your connection. Okay, what is this? If I subtract any number, suppose 3, then the answer will be 3 only. Then why subtraction is not valid? What is it not valid for? Please complete your question. Division is not closed, the property of closure, okay? Right, this is not closed if B, this is only valid if B is not equal to 0. Right, whoever has written there, you are right. There is a rider to this. A divided by B is a rational number only if B is not equal to 0. Otherwise, you can also say that the closure property is not valid for division. Both are right if you write the rider. Yes, whoever has written that, thank you for pointing that out. Very important. Very important. Okay. Okay. 0 minus 3 is 3 or 0. If I have 0 minus 3 and I have 3 minus 0, are they equal to each other? They are not equal to each other. Okay, everybody? All right, please check what you are putting as a question. Okay, great. Great, please check. Whoever is unable to see anything on the screen, please check your setting, log in again because everybody else can see my screen. Okay, let's start with the first problem, the first exercise in your textbook. Okay, there are two more properties which we have been using again and again, the distributive property of multiplication over addition. So if I have A plus B multiplied by C, then this C goes with the A and this C goes with the B also. Remember, I have told this many times. So you will get A multiplied by C plus B multiplied by C. The same thing happens if you have A minus B. It is also valid over subtraction, right? Where C will go with the A and C will go with the B also. So you get A multiplied by C minus B multiplied by C. This is called the distributive property of multiplication. Okay, that was the recap. Let's start with exercise 1.1. Everybody, exercise 1.1. I have solved the first one. It's a very simple sum. Please check. Okay. Yesha, can you please check if the screen is seen? Because there are some students saying that the screen is not seen. Everybody else can see the screen. Just please type in. Okay. All right, fine. So the screen is in view. Everybody who cannot see, please check at your end. Okay. Okay, let's do the first sum. Everybody can see the first sum of 1.1. I have done the entire sum in a very simple manner. If there is any explanation required, please ask me. What I have done is I have taken some elements which are common. 3 upon 5 is common, right? So I have taken those two brackets together. What property is this? This is the right. Next. ओके हिंदी में थोड़ा सा बोल लेती हूँ मैं. ओके ऑलराइट, तो हमने क्या लिया है ये प्रॉब्लम में 3 अपॉन 5 मल्टीप्लाइड बाय 3 अपॉन 5 कॉमन है, तो हमने वो दो ब्रैकेट्स को साथ में लिया है और प्लस 5 अपॉन 2 को लास्ट में रखा है. व्हाट प्रॉपर्टी वाज दिस? This was the commutative property with addition and you can take it आगे पीछे only the plus sign. Okay. All right. Now between this bracket, between the two brackets, common कुछ दिख रहा है? Is there anything common? Okay. 3 upon 5 is common in both the brackets. So I have taken it outside. What remains over here? Minus 2 upon 3. And over here, minus 1 upon 6. The 5 upon 2 comes as it is. 3 upon 5 remains as it is. In the bracket, you will take the LCM. LCM is 6. This gets multiplied by 2, right? So you get minus 4 minus 1. Plus 5 upon 2 remains the same. 3 upon 5 multiplied by minus 5 upon 6. 3 ones are 3, 3 twos are 6, 5 ones are 5, and 5 minus 1. What you get is minus 1 upon 2 plus 5 upon 2. Minus 1, 2 is the LCM, minus 1 plus 5, you will get 4 upon 2. You can cancel to get a 2. Everybody, have you all followed? If there's any question, very good. I have answered this question. Okay. All right. Okay. Okay, fine, great. Okay. All right. Let's do the next. Can you all do the next sum? Okay, एक बार वापस से एक्सप्लेन कर देती हूँ. हमारे सम में हमारे पास मल्टीप्लाइड बाय 3 अपॉन 5 कॉमन है. तो मैंने वहां पे ब्रैकेट्स लगा के हमने वो ब्रैकेट्स को साथ साथ ले लिया है और प्लस 5 अपॉन 2 को पीछे डाल दिया है. जस्ट शिफ्ट किया है सिर्फ हमने. ठीक है. तो ये दो ब्रैकेट्स में अभी हमारे पास कॉमन क्या है? कॉमन इज 3 अपॉन 5 दोनों जगह पे. तो 3 अपॉन 5 बाहर ले लिया. अनकॉमन क्या है? बाकी क्या बचा यहाँ पे? माइनस 2 अपॉन 3 और यहाँ पे माइनस और 1 अपॉन 6. तो ब्रैकेट के अंदर वो आ गया. 5 upon 2 is remains as it is. In the bracket now you have two fractions. So you will take an LCM. LCM is 6. So you will multiply this by 3. Sorry, 2. Right? So you get minus 4 minus 1 upon 6. 3 upon 5 remains as it is. 5 upon 2 remains as it is. So what you get is 3 upon 5 into minus 5 upon 6. This was in the bracket. 5 upon 2 remains as it is. Because there is multiplication in between, you can cancel. Okay, so you get minus 1 upon 2 plus 5 upon 2 remains as it is. Once again, LCM is 2. Minus 1 plus 5, you get 4 upon 2 and you get your answer. Everybody, सबको समझ में आया? All right, let's do the second one. Second one can be done in a similar manner. What is common over here? 2 upon 5 is common, multiplied by 2 upon 5. So what are you going to do? This is one bracket and this is one bracket, right? And this is put right at the end. Because there is a multiplication in between, you can cancel 3 ones and 3 twos. So what you get over here is 1 upon 4. Everybody with me? Okay, between these two brackets, what is common? 2 upon 5. So that comes outside. What remains inside? Minus 3 upon 7 and plus 1 upon 14. Once again, two fractions with plus or minus, you will take the LCM. 14 is the LCM. This will get multiplied by 2. 2 upon 5 नीचे आता है जैसे है वैसा, minus 6 plus 1. minus 1 upon 4 जैसा है वैसे नीचे आएगा. 2 upon 5 वापस यहाँ पे minus 5 upon 14 minus 1 upon 4. मल्टीप्लिकेशन साइन है तो कैंसिल हो सकता है. What you are getting is minus 1 upon 7 and the minus 1 upon 4 comes as it is. LCM क्या होगा? 7 और 4 का 28. This multiplied by 4, this is multiplied by 7. Minus 4 minus 7, you will get minus 11 upon 28. Sure? Any confusion, please ask. Q&A box में type कर लो, please. Okay, very good. Okay. All right, very good. So now your screen is showing. Very good. Have you followed this sum? ये वाला sum follow किया है? Please type in. Any confusion for this sum? Please type in. What you have not understood? क्या समझ नहीं आया? Please type कर लो. It's a very simple chapter. Yes. Very good. Very good. ये क्या किसी ने लिखा है? माइनस माइनस इज इक्वल टू प्लस. ओके, ऑल राइट. हमारे सम में हमारे पास 2/5 दो जगह पे, तो हमने वो दो ब्रैकेट्स को साथ में ले लिया है और बाकी का जो बचा है -1/6 इंटू 3/2 हमने लास्ट में रखा है. यहाँ पे हमने 2/5 कॉमन है, बाकी अंदर क्या जाएगा? -3/7 प्लस 1/14. LCM ले लो, कैंसिल कर दो. ओनली इफ देयर इज मल्टीप्लिकेशन इन बिटवीन यू कैन कैंसिल. If there is plus or minus, you will take the LCM. Okay? All right. Shall we move to the next one? Very good, very good, very good. Okay, great. Let's do the next one. Write the additive inverse of each of the following. Remember, additive inverse हमने क्या बोला? What was the additive inverse? Additive inverse was negative a minus a. It should become equal to 0. So minus a is the additive inverse of a. तो अगर हमारे पास 2/8 है तो उसका एडिटिव इनवर्स विल बी -2/8. ठीक है. अगर हमारे पास -5/9 है, एडिटिव इनवर्स विल बी +5/9. एवरीबडी, you have to just change the sign. The number remains the same. Additive inverse, number remains the same. The sign changes from negative to positive or positive to negative. Okay. Now, -6/5. What number is this? This is actually +6/5. So iska additive inverse will be -6/5. Do you get it? Right? 2/-9, it will be +2/9. 19/-6, it will be +19/6. Everybody, additive inverse. Okay, hello. Whoever is saying hello on the chat window, please type something which I can explain if there is a confusion. Okay. The second part of 1.1 is very clear. Let's do the third part. Verify minus of minus x is equal to x. Okay, I have done it over here. Look at the side. Show minus of minus x is equal to x for x equals to 11 by 15. What will be the additive inverse of x? Additive inverse of x will be minus 11 by 15. It will be minus x, right? Now, what is the additive inverse of this minus 11 by 15? Additive inverse of minus 11 by 15 will be minus of minus 11 by 15. Sure, if this is my number, then my additive inverse is the same number, but I have to add a minus sign. Sure? Therefore, you can safely say is equal to minus of minus x. Do you see this? Everybody, have you followed? If there's any confusion, please ask. Please ask if there's any confusion. Very good, very good, very good. What you're not understanding, dear? X is given as 11 upon 15, right? What is the additive inverse of this? Minus 11 upon 15. Now, if I take minus 11 upon 15, then what is the additive inverse of minus 11 upon 15? What is the additive inverse of minus 11 upon 15? It is minus of minus 11 upon 15, isn't it? So we can say x is equal to minus of minus x. Oh, okay. Please check this. Please look at this. Try to understand if there's anything that I can do further, or we'll move to the next one. We are running out of time. We have only one session for this chapter. Okay. All right. Let's do the fourth sum. What is the multiplicative inverse? Remember, multiplicative inverse is reciprocal. The sign remains the same, but the number becomes reciprocal. So minus 13 will become minus 1 upon 13. The minus doesn't change. Only 13 becomes 1 upon 13. Minus 13 upon 19 will become minus 19 upon 13. 1 upon 5 becomes 5 upon 1, or just 5. Minus 5 upon 8 into minus 3 upon 7. You just multiply first. You will get plus 15 upon 56. The multiplicative inverse is 56 upon 15. In the additive inverse, number remains the same, only the sign changes. In multiplicative inverse, sign remains the same, only the number becomes reciprocal, ulta. Okay? All right. Great. Let's do the fifth one. Sure, if you want to ask something, please type. Please type if you want to ask something. Let's do the fifth one. Try to guess the property under multiplication used in each of the following. Minus 4 upon 5 multiplied by 1 is equal to 1 multiplied by minus 4 upon 5. What property is that? 5, 1 is what property? Sure. Ask. What do you want to ask about reciprocal? Very good. The first one is commutative property. Remember commutative property. What was it? A plus B is equal to B plus A. Here it is A multiplied by B is equal to B multiplied by A. Commutative property. Look at the second one. What is the second one? What is the second one? 13 into minus 2 upon 7 is equal to minus 2 upon 7 into minus 13 upon 7. This is not equal to, right? So what have we taken? Oh, this is a minus. Okay, this is a minus over here also, minus over here also. So it is still commutative property again. A multiplied by B is equal to B multiplied by A. Sure? And the last one is multiplicative inverse, where the sign remains the same and the number has become reciprocal. Everybody? Okay, there are some questions which I'm going to just look at. Very good. Okay. Very good. Very good. Explain the first. What do you mean by the first? Explain the first part of the fifth sum. Please let me know one of first of what? Okay. Question 5, first one. Okay. So here you have minus 4 upon 5 is A. So you have A and 1 is B. So A multiplied by B is equal to B multiplied by A. That is the commutative property, right? A into B is equal to B into A. Everybody, commutative property. Did you follow? Okay, 5 subdivision 3. What is the third part of the fifth sum? You have got A, right? Minus 19 upon 29 is A. Then 29 upon minus 19 is what? 1 upon A, isn't it? A multiplied by 1 upon A is equal to 1. What is that? Multiplicative inverse. Remember on the first slide I showed you A multiplied by 1 upon A is equal to 1. This is the reciprocal of this. It is the multiplicative inverse. Sure, everybody? Look at the sixth one. Multiply 6 upon 13 by the reciprocal of minus 7 upon 16. Reciprocal of minus 7 upon 16 is what? Minus 16 upon 7. The sign remains the same. You don't change minus into plus. Okay, so 6 upon 13 is multiplied by minus 16 upon 7 gives you minus 96 upon 91. Everybody? Everybody okay? Reciprocal means ulta, means numerator becomes denominator, denominator becomes numerator. Reciprocal means numerator and denominator change position. The sign does not change. Don't change the sign. Okay? All right, next. Next. Tell what property allows you to computate 1 upon 3 into 6 into 4 by 3 as 1 upon 3. So what have I done? A into B into C is equal to A into B and C outside. What property is that? Associative property for multiplication. Associative property for multiplication. Do you get it? Very important, because now you all will be doing MCQs for your test and exams. So all these are very critical in MCQs, okay? All right, let's do the next one. Next wala dekh lo, please. Not necessarily whoever has asked the question in integers and rational numbers. Okay, whenever you have a fraction, if I have minus 2 upon 3, I can also write this as 2 upon minus 3, or I can write it as minus in between and 2 upon 3. They are all the same. You cannot say minus is in the numerator. Minus is with the whole fraction. Whether it is in the position is in numerator or denominator or in between, they are all the same. Everybody? Okay. Next, let's do the 8th one. 8th one, I have answered that. Okay. All right. Let's do the 8th one. Is 8 upon 9 the multiplicative inverse of minus 1 by 8? What is minus 1 by 8? How much is minus 1 by 8? Everybody? This is minus 1 into 8 plus 1 upon 8. Remember? What will you get? Minus 7 upon 8. Is 8 upon 9 the multiplicative inverse of minus 7 upon 8? No. What will be the multiplicative inverse of minus 7 upon 8? It will be minus 8 upon 7. It is not 8 upon 9. Everybody? Sure? Yes. Okay, so the answer is no. Why not? Because minus 1 upon 8 is actually minus 7 upon 8. And the multiplicative inverse of minus 7 upon 8 is minus 8 upon 7. It is not 8 upon 9. Okay, now do the last one, 9th one. What is the 9th one? 0.3 as a fraction. What will this be? 3 upon 10. Now do 3 1 upon 3. How much is this? 10 upon 3. What is the multiplicative inverse of this? 3 upon 10. Is it the same as 0.3? Yes. So this is right. This is right. Okay. All right. Everybody? Everybody? Okay, if there's any confusion, please type. Let's go on to the next sum. Let's move to the next sum. Okay. 10th one. Quickly do the 10th one. Just look at it. Okay. Rational number that doesn't have any reciprocal is 0. 0 is actually 0 upon 1. So the reciprocal of 0 will become 1 upon 0, but that is not a number. Right? Any denominator cannot have 0. Denominator equal to 0 is not valid. So 0 does not have a reciprocal. Rational numbers that are equal to their reciprocals. Which rational number is the same as their reciprocal? 1. Rational number 1 is 1 upon 1. Uska reciprocal is also 1 upon 1. Minus 1 upon 1. What did I tell you about negative? Its reciprocal is also minus 1 upon 1. Sure? Reciprocal of 1 and minus 1 is the same, remains the same. Rational number that is equal to its negative, 0. 0 has no reciprocal. The numbers 1 and minus 1 are their own reciprocals. Reciprocal of minus 5. Minus 5 is actually minus 5 upon 1. Reciprocal will be minus 1 upon 5. Okay. Reciprocal of 1 upon x is x. Product of two rational numbers is always a rational number. Reciprocal of a positive rational number is always a positive rational number. Sure? Everybody, if there's any confusion, please ask. All right. Why is 0 not a rational number? Are rational numbers, what did we define rational number as? P upon Q, where P and Q are integers and Q is not equal to 0. Now if P is integers, then integers are everything from minus numbers 0 and 1 and everything. Who has written that 0 is not a rational number? 0 is very much a rational number. The only number where 0 is not there is natural numbers. Only natural numbers don't have 0 because they start from 1. Okay? Okay, great. Let's do the next exercise, everybody. 1.2. Okay, what do you want me to answer? 0 is a rational number. I have answered. Okay. What did you not understand? 11.5. What is 11.5? Fifth one, product of two rational numbers is a rational number. What property is it? First slide today, I did closure property. For multiplication, what is the closure property for multiplication? A multiplied by B is a rational number if A and B are rational numbers. This is 11.5. Look at the fifth sum. Product of any two rational numbers is always a rational number. That was the closure property for multiplication of rational numbers. Okay, let's go ahead. Represent these numbers on the number line. 7 upon 4. You can do this. This is very simple. 7 upon 4 is actually how much? 1, 3 upon 4, right? So where will be 7 upon 4? It will be after 1 and in between 1 and 2. How many parts you have to make between 1 and 2? 4 parts. So 1, 2, 3, 4 equal parts, right? This is 1, 1/4, this is 1, 1/2, and this is 1, 3/4. So this position is 1, 3/4, which is equal to 7 upon 4. Do you get it on the number line? Minus 5 upon 6. Minus 5 upon 6 will be between 0 and -1 because the denominator is greater than the numerator. How many parts will you make? 6 parts. 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Right? So this will be minus 1 upon 6, minus 2 upon 6, minus 3 upon 6, minus 4 upon 6, and this one will be minus 5 upon 6. Do you get it? The denominator is how many parts you will divide, and the numerator is which part you will take. Okay, you can represent the second one also. I have just done it over here. You will divide it into 11 parts, 0 and -1, 11 parts, and then take whatever is in the numerator. Okay, next. Okay, I have done over here the 7th one. Take to find 10 rational numbers. Okay, I have done the 4th one over here. Okay, we've done the 4th one. I have done just to explain the method. Find 10 rational numbers between -2 upon 5 and plus 1 upon 2. Everybody look at this method. I hope you all have followed it. These are the two numbers between which you have to find 10 rational numbers. First thing you have to do is make the denominators equal. How can I make the denominators equal? In the first case, I will multiply up and down by 2. And in the second case, I will multiply up and down by 5. So now I have -4 upon 10 and 5 upon 10. Denominators are same. How many rational numbers do I want to find? 10. So n plus 1, we have to take plus 1. So it will be 11. Now, all you do is multiply up and down both the fractions with 11. You will get -44 and plus 55. Now you can take numerators between this and this. As many number as you want. So I can start. You will not take -44. You will start with -43, -42, -41, -40, -39 upon 110, -38 upon 110. You can take as many as you want till 55. Everybody, have you followed the method? It's a very, very simple method. Third one. Okay, please ask. Oh, Oh, okay. Why have you not understood with the number line? Let's do one last question and then I'll do the number line again. Look at the last one. Look at the sixth one. Please understand this method of finding 5 rational numbers between 1/4 and which one have I taken? I have taken this as my own sum. Okay, 1/4 and 1/2. So both places you have to make the denominator same. So if I multiply up and down by 2, my denominators are the same. How many numbers do I want to find? 5. So n is 5, n plus 1 will be 6. I will multiply both fractions with 6. I will get 6 upon 24 and 12 upon 24. The 5 rational numbers in between are 7 upon 24, 8, 9, 10, 11. Is that very, very clear with everybody? Then we will go to the number line again. We have only 2 minutes more. Okay? Okay, so what is it that you've not understood? Anybody else who's not understood the number line? I have a line. If I have 7 upon 4, then the first thing I will do is make it into an improper fraction so that I know where it lies. 1 is the whole number. So this is the whole number 1. And now I have to do only 3/4 after 1. That means I have to divide the space after 1 into 4 parts. So this is the first part, second part, third part, and fourth part. And then take the third section out of it. So this is the first section, this is the second section, and this is the third section. So where does it lie? It lies here, 7 upon 4. Did you follow that? Did you follow the number line, everybody? Okay. What is 1.3, the third question? I don't know which question is this. All right. Which question are you asking for? 1.3, the third one, kya hai? 1.3, so there is no exercise only. There is no exercise called 1.3. Okay, anybody else? We are on our last 2 minutes. Please let me know. There is exercise 1.3. Is there an exercise 1.3? Oh, can you read out the sum? Can you type the sum? Okay. I think we've run out of time. So all the very best for rational numbers. It is a very easy chapter. Just go through all the sums in the textbook. And all the best. Can we end the session? Okay. Tomorrow is our last session on data handling. Tomorrow is the last session on data handling. And over for today. Yesha, can you please end the session? Thank you and goodbye, everybody.